So can you see my screen?
Yes, we can.
Yep.
Somehow they just swapped the monitor. Let me swap it. So a little bit introduction. The Enterprise Agility is a SPCT Gold partner. We are a John Maxwell team certified, as well as we are providing the training of the Lean Kanban University. So we are also going to introduce the training of scaled OKR, and there are going to be a few more announcements after that. So thanks for giving a great introduction. So this is couple of achievements I try to do in past, and there is an email address of me in the bottom. If you want to connect to me on the LinkedIn, or if you want further information about me, then feel free to contact me on this email address. So let's start our presentation. So usually the presentation goes in two ways. So one is, this is an impact, and this is a result we are getting from that impact. Or the other way is, this is a result and what causes this result. Here I am going to present in a reverse order. What does it mean? It means we are going to discuss the result and try to find out the different causes of that result and try to pin down one of them. Let's start with the leadership. So what is the leadership? So leadership is all about the influence. I can lead you when I can influence you. I will create a follower if I will have the influence on you. Actually, that is a true measure of the leadership. If you have more influence, it means you are doing good as a leader. There are a lot of other factors, but to me, influence is the most important one. Why? The reason is because influence is actually the highest level of human skills. If you can create an influence, then you can make a bigger change. Now let's see, how can we create an influence? We can create an influence if we connect with the people. Without a connection, obviously, we cannot make an influence. Let's start in a little bit more detail. How can we connect with the people? So these are a couple of laws for connecting the people. Connect with yourself. Before connecting to others, you have to connect with yourself. And you have to communicate with sincerity. You have to know your audience. And you have to practice what you preach. Try to speak the other's language, not in my language. Try to focus on others, not on yourself, not on me. If I'm trying to make an influence, if I'm trying to connect you, I'm trying to speak in your language. I'm trying to focus on you. I'm going to believe on you. I'm going to believe on the people. There is a famous French journal, Napoleon Bonaparte. He's famous for saying leaders are dealers in hope. So these are the laws. But we need something more concrete. Let's take a look at the practices. A couple of practices you can use to connect with the people. So here are a few of the practices. We can connect on a common ground. It is difficult to find a common ground one with others when you are only focusing on yourself. Try to keep it simple. I was reading one of the book and I came across one of the story of the pastor. So someone gives the comments to the pastor that you are is smarter than Albert Einstein. And pastor was confused. And he was trying to understand the reason of this statement for a couple of days and he couldn't find it. So after a couple of days, he actually went back to the person and asked him, why do you think I am smarter than Albert Einstein? And the response is, what Albert Einstein said, probably 10% in the whole world understand what he's saying. But what you are saying, no one can understand. So it is important to keep it simple. If I'm trying to make it abstract, if I'm trying to show off, if I'm trying to say how much knowledge I have, then probably I can make an impact on you in such a way that, okay, this person is so knowledgeable, but I am not able to connect you. Create an experience everyone enjoys. Few of you probably know that I have an interest in photography. So one day I was looking at one of the video of some techniques, one of the video course of some techniques for learning the photography. And the photographer shared an interesting thing during that video. So he was asking a question that there is a hotel that is only $60 to $70 per night. There is a hotel $200 per night, and there is a hotel $400 per night. What is the difference? If you are just traveling, you just have to spend one night and move on. Then why they are charging differently? So if you are staying in a hotel of $400 per hour, then they will treat you like a VIP guest or a chief guest or something like that. So they are not charging you for staying in the hotel. They are charging you for giving you an experience. So as per that photographer, there are three types of things we can provide: the commodity, the services, and the experience. As a professional, we are providing the services to different organizations. But if you are providing the experience, the people cannot forget that experience. They might forget what you said, but they will not forget how you make them feel. Inspire the people. They will always remember how you make them feel. Live what they communicate. One of my colleagues has an interesting metaphor that credibility and trust is just like a currency. You have to earn it and you have to use it accordingly. And earning this particular currency is not easy. So, with the shortage of time, I am not going to discuss all of these practices in detail. I'm just going to pick one. Obviously, we can go in detail for each one of them. Let's take a look at the first one, the common ground. Let's take a look at the negative side first, the barriers for the common ground. There are four barriers. Like the assumption, I already know what others know or feel or want. Actually, As per the Jerry Bird, all miscommunications are the result of different assumptions. Or the arrogance, I don't need to know what other feels or wants or know. Indifference, I don't care to know. Or control, I don't want others to know what I know, feel, or want. If we are in any one of this state, then we cannot find the common ground. What does it mean? We cannot connect. What does it mean? We cannot create an influence. What does it mean? We cannot become a leader. We cannot lead. So let's take a look at how to cultivate the common ground. So these are the barriers. Let's see how we can do it. This is how we should not do it. Availability. What does it mean? I will choose to spend time with other. I am available when they need me. How many times we came across a situation that we need help from the leadership and they are not available. In fact, yesterday we were discussing an example, both good examples and bad examples. What is the impact when the leadership is not present in a PI planning? The people will think and feel that it is not important for them. I actually observed both experiences myself, that in one particular instance, the leadership do not show up in the planning. And I personally hear that it is not important for them. Listening, there was a very interesting sentence I was reading somewhere that when you are talking, you will only repeat what you know. But when you are listening, there is a possibility to learn something new. On the same note, actually, right now, you have an advantage because I am just repeating what I know. Questions. I will be interested enough in others to ask the questions. This is a very powerful thing. And anyone who has done any sort of coaching experience or training will know the power of this. Thoughtfulness. I will thank for others and look for ways to thank them. Just remember the instance when someone from the leadership comes to you and say thanks. How do you feel? You will feel more connected. If you want to be a leader, if you want to create an influence, if you want to connect, be thankful and find out ways to be thankful. Openness. I will let people into my life. In a corporate culture, how many times we hear we have an open door policy? What does it mean? It is not about the door of the room. It is about they are open to hear the ideas, although they may not agree, although they may differ, they may have a different opinion. How can you connect with someone if you are not open to different point of view? At least listen the different point of view. Likability. I will care about the people. If I will not care, I am not able to connect. And everything goes all the way back. Connect to create influence, to become a leader. Adaptability. In agile world, we are probably familiar with this term, and we hear this a lot in empiricism, inspect, adopt, and transparency. Here, we are using the same term in a slightly different way. What does it mean, adaptability? It means I will move from my world to their world. Let me give you one example. So some of you may correlate this example, probably not all of you. So there is a reason of intentionally put this example. So you can correlate that some of you might be able to connect with my sentence and some of you might not. As Mohsin said in the morning or at the beginning of the conference about the SAFE certification training last year I did in Lahore. So any one of you who were attending in that conference might remember one of my sentence that I like a lot, almost everything in Lahore except Lahore calendar. So now some of people might understand what does it mean because they know the context. But most of the people who have no idea about what does it mean, what is Lahore calendar, why I do not like Lahore calendar, have no clue what I'm talking. So I actually miss the common ground. So let's try to be connect with those people who missed the bus in this time and didn't have an idea. So Lahore calendar is actually one of the sports team in one of the very famous sports in Pakistan, and they have a consistent ability for past 4 years, if I remember correctly, to be at the bottom of the chart. They are champion in this one. So now you, with this context information, you can probably correlate and you can probably connect, but without that information, there is no common ground. Only with this particular sentence, I will lose you. I have to find the common ground. So I'm going to use the same pattern. Instead of discussing all of these, I'm just going to pick one and going in a little bit more detail on one. So one of my favorite is questions because I love doing the coaching. So let's take a look at the questions. What's the advantage of asking the questions? So you will only get the answers to the question you ask. In one of my speech, I said, if I remember the name correctly, Albert Einstein said, if my life is depend on the problem to solve it, I have only 1 hour to solve that problem. I will spend 55 minutes to find the right question. Or in agile world, Vikas actually give me one more perspective, one more dimension of this one. Instead of spending 55 minutes to ask a question, we can iteratively keep finding the questions, keep asking the question until we get the best question. Questions unlock and open the door that otherwise remain closed. So before you attempt to set the right thing, make sure you see the right thing. That is the intention of the questions. Quality questions create a quality life. Successful people ask a better question, and as a result, they get a better answer. It is also from one of the very famous speaker, Tony Robbins or Anthony Robbins. And here you can see questions are the most effective means of connecting with people. So let's take a look at where we came from. So if you want to become a leader, we have to create an influence. If you want to create an influence, we have to connect the people. If we want to connect the people, we have to find a common ground. And if you want to find a common ground, question is very important technique. Almost all of us are talking so much that we can, if someone is recording our words, then probably in 3 to 6 weeks, we have enough words that we can write a small book. What does it mean? Probably we are able to find, probably we are able to write half a dozen books in a year. So we are actually talking that much. But are we actually connecting? That is actually a talk. Everyone communicates, few connects. So this is an introduction of our company. We are doing the SAFE training, leadership training, scaled OKR training. As Vikas said, there's a promo code, family and friends, 200. We are also going to introduce the John Maxwell training, and this particular segment is directly taken from there. This is one of the famous both. Everyone connects, everyone communicates, few connects, and we will find more information. Thank you for giving me an opportunity.